risky behavior.
The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely those of the host and guest and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This channel does not promote bias, hatred, or discrimination of any kind. All questions posed and thoughts shared are part of a critical thinking exercise and are not meant to offend or judge any individual or group. We encourage respectful dialogue and love for all. Please remember to think critically and engage thoughtfully. We aim to foster a positive and inclusive community where everyone feels welcome. Thank you for being a part of Risky Behavior ENT.
Risky behavior.
Hello, how are you doing? Welcome. This is Risky Behavior. I'm your host, Mr. Diabolical, and you're watching Beware the Messenger. Here on Beware the Messenger, I like to focus on people in positions of power, people in positions of leadership, whose behavior off camera, offline, off mic, off message does a disservice to the people they're supposed to be helping. And this particular episode, if you're reading the title, is on Dominique Alexander. This is the spokesperson for the Carmelo Anthony family, who is charged with the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf. And for those who may have been hiding under a rock, I'll go ahead and play this real quick clip.
In news across the state this morning, new controversy after a deadly stabbing at a high school track meet in Frisco. Police say the father of the victim was the subject of a swatting call at his home on Thursday night. That victim, Austin Metcalf, died on April 2nd. The suspect, Carmelo Anthony, is now charged with murder. Anthony's family held a press conference Thursday, but it was delayed after Metcalf's father came and had to be escorted out of the building. Anthony's mother says her family has been under attack with threats and false accusations. She addressed the Metcalf family directly, calling for the legal process to play out.
We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you.
Anthony was released Monday on a reduced bond. For now, he's not allowed on school property.
Now, I played that clip because it kind of just summarizes everything up, and it leads to a speech that Dominique Alexander gave right after that when Austin Metcalf's father showed up to a press conference of which he was escorted from. Now, when Carmelo Anthony was leaving after getting bail, there was a guy walking in front of him with like a navy blue suit jacket on, and that was Dominique Alexander. I'm gonna pull this up, and this is him right here. This is Dominique Alexander. And apparently he started this. Let me share this tab. Is that up? Okay, cool. This is his organization, the Next Generation Action Network. This is the website for anybody that wants to check it out, nextgenerationnetwork.com. It gives a little bit of history here on the website. It says the Next Generation Action Network, NGAN, was founded in August 2014 by Minister Dominique Alexander. So apparently he's a minister. And with the support of Damon Crenshaw and Kiera D. Saunders, The Next Generation Action Network has developed to be one of the largest social justice organizations in North Texas and one of the fastest growing organizations in the nation, with several chapters across the country. Some of the major focuses within the organization include education, legal advocacy, criminal justice, women's rights, LGBTQIA. Okay, I didn't know they added extra letters, and human and civil rights violations. I'm not trying to be funny. I didn't know it added extra letters. Over the years, the Next Generation Action Network has organized for a plethora of causes. It has taken great strides towards combating oppression and discrimination for the Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities, which, with this Anthony versus Metcalf is turned into this whole racial thing. So it makes sense that him and this organization would jump all over it and that he would be the spokesperson for them. But once again, this is Beware the Messenger. So in this video, I'm going to show why Dominique Alexander should not be the spokesperson for this family. Let me see. Okay. Share another tab. Let me zoom in for you. Thank you for your patience as I zoom in. It says radical activist who fueled Cori Bush's campaigns emerges as spokesperson for track stars murder suspect. Dominique Alexander has repeatedly called for defunding the police. Let's see. So a spokesperson for the family of the 17-year-old boy accused of stabbing Frisco, Texas track star Austin Metcalf to death has a long history of supporting defunding the police, as well as close ties to former squad rep Cori Bush. Minister Dominique Alexander, a Dallas-based defund the police activist and social justice leader, has been in the headlines in recent days as he and his organization, Next Generation Action Network, have been rallying in defense of the family of 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, the teenager who is accused of fatally stabbing Metcalf and Anthony himself. The Next Generation Action Network is currently working with the Anthony family to get the bond process and will keep the community updated regarding his release. NGAN posted on X earlier this week after the bond was reduced from $1 million to $250,000. We want to sincerely thank everyone for the overwhelming support you have shown. This is just the beginning of a long legal journey, and we will continue to stand strong in defense of Carmelo's rights. So I did that just to show he has an organization. He started in 2014. That's just the history. He's been doing this, been an activist, been in the community. And so forgive me, I'm about to bring up another video. Is when I'm doing Beware the Messenger, I do like to play whenever you hear their speeches, how they address the public, how they talk in public, because you get to see a lot of these leaders, people in positions of powers, ministers, they speak very, very, very well. And it's easy to get caught up in their speech and you be like, man, this person's the real deal. Oh, hold on. I got one more video. This is from I got one more video. This is from 8 years ago. I want to show this before I show the speech that he gave at the conference when they had to when they kicked Metcalf's father out. Before I play that one, I want to play this other one. It's just to show you his history and that he has been out here being an activist, because I don't want to say he's not an activist. This video is the only show that he shouldn't be the spokesperson for this family. Oh my God. Hold on. My bad. Technical difficulties. Here we go.
Legislative power. No accountability. Well, you have a lot of accountability. You have a lot of laws that's going to be changed, and it's not going to be changed overnight. The Voters' Right Act didn't change overnight. You know, the Civil Rights Act didn't change overnight. They were fighting for years. It's not going to change overnight. We're going to have to take every step by step by step. You know, and everything, every little bit that we can get, we're gonna absorb to it to take it to the next part. We have our local government, we have our state government, we have our federal government, and right now our state laws allow officers to go without being blemished when they use lethal force. And that's the problem right now, is that every citizen in America, when they do some of the things, the heinous crimes that law enforcement are doing in this country, we're prosecuted to the fullest of authority. But when it comes to law enforcement, they are given some certain privileges that shouldn't be allowed at certain extent. I understand their sacrifice. I understand what they do every day. I get it. I understand the importance of police in our community. That's why I protest, because I understand how it can be a good element and a beautiful element for a child's development in the southern sector of Oak Cliff. Being a product of Oak Cliff, I know how important it is, knowing an officer that I had named Off Sea Law, that was a good officer that knew all of the community children.
And that's what gets lost in a lot of this too. People.
There you have it. Now let's go watch his most recent speech he gave.
So it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character. Who is not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it.
And this is him talking about Austin Metcalf's father that was there, and they asked him to leave. And this is him speaking about that situation. I can see why he's speaking about it, why he's addressing it. I don't know why he is using this as he's using it as an opportunity to attack and talk about character. When somebody's child has just died, I just think it's distasteful to do that. Let me rewind it and start it over.
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss.
Now, what he's doing is very sneaky and very slick. not to me because I'm capturing onto it. I want to say shout out to my brother Marcus Banks in the building, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good. Nice to see you, man. Again, man. Thank you for coming through, man. I appreciate you. What he's doing is very sneaky, and he's using this as an opportunity to take a jab when it's unneeded. It's distasteful. He suggests that, see, he's saying we have not taken any of the information that we have learned about Austin Metcalf. We have kept it close. But what you're doing is, you know, that all of us are on the internet and we've all heard the rumors and the slander that's been going on both sides. So what you're trying to suggest is that what you're saying is you're issuing a threat. It's like saying, watch yourself, or else I'm gonna say something about your son. Cause I ain't, it's kind of like when somebody insults you, right? And you look over them and say, hold on now. It ain't like I said something about that bad wig you got on. But you are saying something about the bad wig by saying that you're not saying something about the bad wig. So what he's doing now, I think that's distasteful. I think he could have said something better than what he said.
And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop.
And so now what he's also trying to suggest, right, is he's trying to suggest that Metcalf's father is a part of all the BS that's going online, spinning the racial stuff, when you can hear the Metcalf father speak, and I didn't see anything that would suggest that he was a part of that or believed in that, right? He said it wasn't racial. And then, and then you find out that his father, somebody apparently does a prank call on him and has his house swatted. It's just, you can see that he's a great speaker, but if you really break down and pay attention to the words, this dude is the wrong spokesperson for this family. And tensions are already running high. And so throwing jabs like this, it might go over some people's head because they're busy crying, they're busy grieving. But the people that understand words and words have meaning, you're taking jabs, buddy, and it's unneeded. I just think it's distasteful at this time. I don't think that's the position he should be playing.
About this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what's going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today, I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit. not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Carmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go, let's be clear. The family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this, but we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family. $800,000 home, purchase Escalade, and private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Carmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative. The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, Give, Send, Go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before, could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud.
The stuff he's saying, they did go in and prove, they disproved a lot of things on the internet. So the things he's saying is true. But I do think that God knows that he's not the right person for the job, and so he knocked his equipment over. Shout out to Marcus Banks says, this is not a racial issue. This is about right and wrong doing that is getting turned into a racial issue. Purely wrong. I definitely agree. It's so sad to see people, they do a disservice to the family of the victim when they doing it. They just made things harder than it has to be. Struggling to pick a jury and all of that stuff. They just added a bunch of things to the case that just don't need to be added, spreading spreading rumors, lying on the family, threatening the family, even to the point where they doxed the judge. It's just gotten out of hand. It's just two teenage boys that got into a disagreement, and like teenage boys, it went to a level that it shouldn't have. Marcus Banks says, sounds like he is putting their financial institute on public display. I just want to know why. Almost sounds like a hidden agenda is going on. I think people like him and his organization, I do think they do some good in the community. But I think the sad thing about it is that a lot of times these people prey on families in desperate situations and take advantage of them. And so I think most definitely there's always a hidden agenda that is there.
All of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud, okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to $11,000. So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Carmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the families and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense, okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Carmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent.
He said they stand and demand justice. I thought usually it would be like the victim's family that would stand and demand justice. But anybody correct me if I'm wrong on that thought.
What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence.
You see how he threw that in there? We will not ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. What do that have to do with two teenage boys and the other boy stabbed the other boy? Like, what is he talking about?
In ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Carmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times. We didn't just rush. We have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Carmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate. Okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research.
What? Forgive me. I have not. I didn't watch this in its entirety. This man said they trying to push off the blame and brought up the weather. So, in other words, if they would have canceled, and shout out Marcus Banks, we all confused. You mean to tell me that they hold some accountability because had they canceled it because of the weather, then I guess this wouldn't have happened. So they take some accountability. And see, this is why I think he's the wrong guy for the. I got other reasons why I think he's the wrong guy for the job, but this is one of the reasons. He is feeding into the racial aspect. You need somebody to come up there and say, "Hey, you guys, this is not racial. These are two young men. In this country, we've come too far for this. Both families on both sides are being doxxed. They're being attacked. People are spreading rumors. They're spreading lies. This is the time as a community we need to come together. We need to make sure that information is gathered properly and that we go to court and we be patient and we wait for the results as going forward." He's attacking this thing as if Anthony is the victim and he's the victim of racism is how he's attacking this. He attached a comment in this speech. He said this family will not sit around and just beg the oppressor to set people free. What did that have to do with anything? Then he's up here. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't care what your opinion is on this. I don't have one. I like to wait for the court case to come out so I can get all the information. So I'm like neutral. I'm in the middle. I just want to get all the evidence and see what happens. I can't say anything, right? But I'm pretty sure that if you stand up in front of a group of people and you're with the family whose son is still alive and you're talking to the family whose son has passed away, and you say this, he got expelled from school. I'm sorry, but I don't think they're gonna give a damn. I'm just saying. I think there's so many other ways he could have came at this, because if the public view is already viewing him negatively, you mean to tell me that instead of coming before the public humbly, trying to get them on your side, this knucklehead gonna get on camera and get on mic and pretend as if they're they're the victim? They should unplug this damn mic. Shout out to Marcus Banks says, I tell you what I know. If you kill someone in the state of Texas and it's not a secure definitive self-defense, you will get the death penalty or life in prison without the possibility of parole. Yep. This guy, I'd fire him. I don't know if they did or they going to, but I'd fire this guy. He wouldn't speak for me no more.
Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the next generation.
You see that? So his job as a spokesperson is to make this family look good. And he thinks he should make them look good by getting on the mic and blaming everybody else. Anybody else. You take accountability. You in charge of the kids' safety, and it was raining that day. What kind of track meet you gonna have in the rain? This guy here, man. I'm telling.
Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Carmelo Anthony. Okay, so in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the record, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the fourth, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know you know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right.
He's wasting time. You think that he think the people on social media are really gonna stop because he said it so? Like
Public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop. We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox. Do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody, unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds name, the law of this land tells you what will going to happen to you, okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school, she raised her family, she did everything. I am a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright disrespectful. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Carmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Judge in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards, all white officers, why couldn't Carmelo Anthony be entitled, a child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home?
There's no case that is necessarily exact to another case. I hate when people do that, compare cases, because the people that's listening to it could take it the right way or the wrong way, right? Somebody that is against you, that ain't going to pull them over to your side. They're just going to say, oh, okay, so because this criminal got a bond, your criminal should get a bond. That's how the people against, that are against you is going to take that statement. And so it's kind of it's a wacky statement to make. And I'm getting the feeling that this press conference is all about his agenda. It's all about him and his personal feelings. I don't feel like he's really clearing anything up. It seems like he's just up there complaining.
Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be separate from the legal process, because we want to make sure that Carmelo Anthony's due process. This is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know, I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You don't gotta inbox me, you ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony. I don't have to prove anything to nobody.
I told you it's all about him. And he said, this the last press conference we're gonna have before the court. And this should be the time to make us fall in love with Carmelo Anthony. Come on, man. This the last time, the last speech, and you just waste it like this. I'm from Oak Cliff. I done heard worse things. What? This ain't about you. Your life ain't on the damn line.
I am a proven testimony standing here that God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story. I'm going to bring this mother, Kayla Hayes, and it has taken her a lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today. And I want you guys to respect her as she read this and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas, searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is what the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Y'all, I'm gonna show something up of a post. You come for me, I come for you. Sarah Fields, never heard of this woman. This is the kind of despicable things that led to the father being here. Political operatives motivating this family with hate. Camelo Anthony posted on something that shows, posted here. These are the type of lies that are threatening this family. Posting the family's picture. These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me. She's even said all of those things. What is going on? I ask, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had, Daniel Pena, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Kyle Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody says anything. So since they tried to come for us, I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided. And I'm gonna say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a Black man in America. And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just remind that hate and bigotry and affiliation in this country, we have respected the process. I believe that Austin Mack.
My bad. There was a bit of technical difficulty. Rewind a little bit. It's storming where I'm at.
And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just reminded that hate and bigotry and racial reconciliation in this country, we have respected the process. I believe that Austin Metcalf is about to have his funeral. And I wouldn't dare, even with the information I know, and plenty people can share that and all that, but we have prevented from speaking about that in these type of public forums.
There again, he issues another threat suggesting that he has damning information on Austin Metcalf, the young man who lost his life. He says it in a way that doesn't sound threatening, but it is a threat that he's saying that because of what he's seeing online and how bothered he is, he's saying basically, hey, y'all playing these games, but I got information that I haven't released and things I haven't put out there. So beware, be cautious of that. And that's basically what he's saying, what he's doing. I think it's in poor taste. I think he's doing his family a disservice. He is not making them look good at all. I think the best thing would have been for him to close his mouth and just let the mother speak. Her speech was very, 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 very moving. And it's just sad that he went on to speak after her. Her speech was so moving that I almost forgot he was there. And then he just comes behind her and steps all over her moving speech. And it's just sad.
It will come out. They have a more than well capable attorney, and this family will go through a process of being able to get prepared for this trial. So I just say this real quick. This is our final time speaking to public.
You know what? I hate I keep pausing it, but I keep having these new thoughts and ideas, right? Why is he speaking for them? If anything, I would prefer if I had a more than capable attorney, I would rather my attorney speak for me. And I've seen other people have press conferences. Some people do have spokespersons or whatever, but I see a lot of people allow their lawyer to speak for them. And the reason I say that is because, like, you have a defense attorney, your lawyer, your legal team, they have a vested interest in making their client look good. They know the ins and the outs. They know the narrative that they want out there in the public, because they know when I go into this courtroom, this is the strategy I'm going to use in this courtroom to defend my client. And the defense of my client starts before I even enter that courtroom. And so I don't think this guy should be speaking for them, because I don't know that he is in alignment with the defense team's strategy.
Public and holding a press conference regarding this particular case. Now, the Next Generation Action Network will talk about Frisco ISD, but we will not do this. I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue that is, we will see you there. I stand 10 toes down supporting this family. And I want to thank all of the community leaders and people that I have seen that have came here today. Bishops and pastors and clergy, community leaders with respectability in this community. I see them today, and I want to thank them for their presence, because this family needs strength right now.
Yeah, he doing this family a disservice. Anywho, that was what they say the last and final press conference before they go to court. That guy speaking is Dominique Alexander. Many reasons why I feel like he should not be speaking for the family. I feel like they have a lawyer, they have a defense team. I think that's who, if anybody should speak for them, it should be their lawyer, because their lawyer knows the position that they're going to take in court. Defense starts before you get to court, especially it seems like he's only up there. He keeps hollering out his organization's name. He even included attacks on him himself or whatever, defending himself up there. I think this press conference was all about him, and that's why he asked that mother to come there. He made some unnecessary comments about Metcalf's father. He did not need to do that. He could have simply said, hey, I know that Metcalf's father was escorted from the press conference. We want to apologize for that. Our hearts go out to that family. But we just feel that because of all the things that's going on, it may cause a disturbance if these families are together. But this to suggest, oh, that father was disrespectful, his character, and I got information on the Metcalf boy, but I'm choosing not to release it and stuff. It's like, dude, just because you talk like a pastor, we hear you issuing threats and throwing shots. Anywho, also I don't think he should represent them because he's feeding into the racial component of just everything that's going on. He's feeding into it. He brought up oppressors in this family. We ain't gonna beg our oppressor to set us free. He's just up there doing his radical activist racist mumbo jumbo, and I don't think it's helping this family not one bit. So I also have some other reasons why I don't, because this is Beware the Messenger. There's some other reasons why I don't feel like he should be representing his family. Before I go to these news articles that I have, I do want to read off I guess it's my intro that I like to do as to why I talk about Beware the Messenger, because I want to add context as to why I make these videos. And it goes a little something like this. The phrase, "don't shoot the messenger," is often used to encourage people to separate the content of a message from the person delivering it. While this concept can be fair in some cases, it becomes problematic when those in positions of influence or leadership use it to avoid accountability or scrutiny. When someone is speaking on behalf of a community, especially about matters involving justice, compensation, or financial redress, it's not enough to only consider the message. We must also evaluate the character and intentions of the messenger. This is especially true when the person has a direct influence on public perception or policy discussions. It's dangerous to blindly accept the words of individuals in power simply because they frame themselves as just the messenger, particularly if their history or behavior raises legitimate concerns about trust and credibility. Let's go here. I have an article here from New York Post. Okay. Close that out. Boom, 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 boom. Ba-da-ba. I think I might have froze a little bit. Oh my gosh. Anywho, I had to keep the show going. I might have froze a little bit, but whatever. All right, here we go. I don't know why this is doing this to me. It was storming, but I really wanted to make this video, but we're going to keep the show going. Activist minister aiding teen killer Carmelo Anthony has his own lengthy rap sheet. This article by Shane Galvin, published April 18, 2025. Here we go. An activist representing accused teen killer Carmelo Anthony has a lengthy criminal history that includes a conviction on child abuse charges and allegations of domestic violence from a former romantic partner, according to past reports. Minister Dominique Alexander, the appointed spokesperson for the alleged teen murderer, has previously been charged with multiple felonies for which he served almost zero prison time, according to local reports. Back in 2009, Alexander was arrested for shaking and hitting the 2-year-old child of his then girlfriend with an object, according to Fox 4 Dallas. And they've included a picture of him standing next to Anthony. There we go. And he's a minister as well, y'all. He was convicted of charges in 2011, receiving 2 years of probation from a Dallas court. Okay. However, in 2016, the activist was sentenced to 2 years in prison for multiple violations of that probation, but only served 8 days in prison for 2 listed infractions of traveling out of state, according to the Dallas Morning News. During this probation period, Alexander was indicted on felony forgery charges in January 2013, according to the Dallas Observer. In 2017, the minister was arrested on felony theft charges of property between $2,500 and $30,000, garnering a possible sentence of 20 years in prison due to his previous forgery conviction, the Dallas Observer reported. In the most recent legal infraction, Alexander was indicted in 2019 on felony assault charges in a domestic violence case stemming from his actions against then girlfriend and baby mama, Kiara D. Saunders, according to WFAA. Okay. I don't know what this is. A picture. He has his hand on Carmelo Anthony's shoulder. I don't know, coaching him on something, I guess. Saunders accused Alexander of pushing, choking, and headbutting her during several altercations. But the mother of 2 decided against proceeding with the trial, the local ABC affiliate station reported at the time. Alexander is the president and CEO of Next Generation Action Network, which has come to the side of 17-year-old Anthony, a Texas high schooler accused of fatally stabbing fellow athlete Austin Metcalf through the heart at a track meet on April the 2nd. Next Generation Action Network has proudly publicized their efforts to provide aid and comfort to the accused killer, posting on social media a video of activists dramatically escorting Anthony from Collin County Jail while shielding him from media questions. This is what Team NGAN looks like. This is what people-powered justice looks like, the minister wrote in the post. On Thursday, Alexander held a news conference on the case that was crashed by Jeff Metcalf, father of the slain teen, much to the dismay of the minister activists. And that's the video that I just played and we watched. That's what they're referring to. This is him speaking. Anyone who truly knows me understands how hard today's press conference was for me, Alexander said in a Facebook post. How would it be? He loves to center himself. It would be hard for the mother. I don't know. Why would it be hard for him? It's literally his job as a spokesperson. That's odd. I was deeply upset by the fact that the father would do what he did. It showed his true colors and proved that while we were working to handle the situation appropriately, he was undermining the process, Alexander wrote. This is not an act of mourning. It was a deliberate distraction and intentional disruption of an important moment. I don't care what anyone says. He had no right to be there. So he must be the person that knows everything about how people mourn, what it feels like, what you might be going through, what you might be thinking. This guy here, man. Anthony and his family have faced intensified scrutiny after it was revealed they are now renting a $900K home in a gated community and bought a new car despite requesting a judge to lower his $1 million bond because of financial difficulties. I don't even know. How do I get to all the rest of it? Did I make a mistake? Who cares? I had other articles to read anyway. I don't even want to. Oh, no. That ain't what you do. Anyway, let me go to the next article. Share this tab. Boom. All right. Control. Boom. Let me see. Shout out to Marcus Banks says it would figure that's why the family should have not let him speak on their behalf. Yeah, man, this guy is the wrong guy for the job, definitely. All right, so this is an article from WFAA.com.
The Silverado Trail Boss.
I'll try to get this video to play. They had a news article on here. I'm muting this ad. Come on. Holding me up.
And we begin with breaking news. A well-known activist has been charged with domestic violence. Police have just arrested Dominique Alexander and taken him to jail. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Lawrence.
And I'm Cindy Aguirre. We were right there when officers took Alexander to jail, searching his pockets, preparing him to be booked. Rebecca Lopez joins us live from the Lou Sterrett jail with much more tonight. Rebecca?
Well, the Dallas Police fugitive unit actually picked up Dominique Alexander just a little while ago. And again, he is inside this jail. He has been charged with 1 count felony assault, serious bodily injury, and 1 count misdemeanor assault. Now, News 8 was the only station there when he was brought in. And here's what he had to say to our cameras.
This unfortunate situation. And at the end of the day, I just ask that the community continue to pray for my family.
Now, Alexander has a long criminal history, including injury to a child, and we just learned some more information about what his girlfriend says recently happened to her. Recently, activist Dominique Alexander was protesting the assault of a woman in Deep Ellum. But behind the scenes, his girlfriend says he was assaulting her. Jeff Hood helps Alexander run the Next Generation Action Network.
And it would be utter hypocrisy for us to stand here today and not cry out with all that we are, with just as much gusto, that we are opposed to violence against women in any shape or form, no matter where it takes place.
WFAA has learned more about the allegations. Sources say there are 2 police reports. In the first incident, the victim says on April 10th, she and Alexander were arguing when he pushed her, causing her to injure her foot and then attempted to choke her. She now has a broken toe.
In this situation, it was very clear that something had happened, something, very hurtful, very evil.
In the second alleged altercation, just a couple of days later, she says Alexander slammed a door, then headbutted her, causing pain. Sources say he told the victim he knows the chief of police and the DA, so who is she going to call? Chief Hall has sought Alexander's advice and often meets and communicates with him. And city manager T.C. Broadnax put him on a committee to help select Chief Hall. This has raised eyebrows considering Alexander is a known convicted felon who pled guilty to shaking a 2-year-old baby in 2011, and he has a lengthy criminal record. WFAA has obtained a report from Arlington Police from 4 years ago. Sources say Alexander assaulted the same girlfriend while she was pregnant, and the report states he began taking his frustrations out on her and pushed her multiple times. We asked Mayor Mike Rawlings why he's been allowed to sit on these committees with a history of domestic violence.
Well, all I know is to take care of what I can do and what I can control. I didn't do that. When he broke up a city council meeting, okay, I walked out on that because we're not going to do that. And I knew his background and I wasn't going to honor that.
Alexander has taken to social media denying the allegations and talking about how God will see him through this. We asked Chief Hall for comment about her association with Alexander. She did not return my email. Also, Alexander faces some very serious injuries, and now it's up to the Dallas District Attorney to take this case further, although Alexander did campaign for him. So it will be interesting to see what happens next with District Attorney John Creuzot. Back to you guys.
All right, lot to keep an eye on there, Rebecca.
Let's see. Dallas activist Dominique Alexander has been arrested on a felony assault charge in a domestic violence case involving his girlfriend. According to court records, Alexander was taken into custody and taken to Dallas County Jail on Thursday afternoon. Alexander called his arrest an unfortunate situation as he was escorted into jail downtown. That's a weird way to describe beating on somebody. An unfortunate situation. Like, it was unfortunate that I had to slap her around. This guy here. You know what? And my thing is this. It wouldn't matter if he did it or didn't do it. When you are fighting for the freedom of your child, I wouldn't care if it was true or not. The rumor, the allegation being out there, for me, would be enough. You could not be my spokesperson. But understandably, the family's going through a difficult time. People are attacking them on the internet, doxing them. I mean, you're going to take any bit of help that you can get. And so it says here, Alexander faces charges of assault causing serious bodily injury and a misdemeanor assault in the case, according to the warrant in the case. Okay. WFAA first reported the incident Wednesday morning after multiple sources confirmed his girlfriend showed up at the Northwest Patrol Division with injuries and filed a complaint. Activist Jeff Hood told WFAA he met Alexander's girlfriend at the hospital and drove with her to the police department to make the report. She's hurt, she's scared, she's in a lot of pain, Hood said. In this situation, it was very clear that something had happened. So he's basically saying that she was clearly injured, clearly had been attacked. The Dallas Police Department on Wednesday confirmed it received a report a report of family violence. It says here an individual arrived at the Northwest Patrol Division and reported an allegation involving a Dominique Alexander. The Dallas Police Department Family Violence Unit is currently investigating the allegation. Alexander did not respond to requests for comment. Oh my goodness, my bad. But instead took to Facebook Live, where in a 17-minute video, he described the situation as an exploitation of my privacy and my family. So he did not respond to a request for comment, but I guess he thought it would make him look better if he went to Facebook Live and did it. So he denied a comment and then issued a comment. That's odd. Alexander has routinely met with Dallas city leaders, including city manager T.C. Brodniks, who put him on a committee that gave him advice on hiring Chief Renee Hall. And it says here Hall has also met with Alexander on a regular basis and sought his advice. Changes to Citizens Police Review Board. The Dallas City Council is expected to vote on the newly branded Community Police Oversight Board on April 24th. Now, that's all I'm gonna read on that. Any of this stuff you can type in and pull up and stuff. Once again, beware the messenger. Here you got somebody that's giving advice. That's crazy. Let's get through these articles. I know this is the boring part, but I like to read them. So this is from the Observer. I'm trying to make this bigger. Let's see. There we go. All right, this is the Dallas Observer, and this came out in 2016. This article. Protest leader Dominique Alexander claims he's targeted, but he just ran out of chances. South Dallas activist Dominique Alexander awaits Judge Gracie Lewis' decision. Flanked by his defense attorneys, Alexander is not worried. I haven't done anything new, he told the Observer on August 25th, the day before his hearing. It's kind of like double jeopardy, so this thing ain't going nowhere. He is no stranger to Lewis. Okay. He is no stranger to Lewis's courtroom in Criminal District Court 3 in Dallas. The 27-year-old Alexander has visited on multiple occasions since he first violated his felony probation. Service for leaving the state twice without his probation officer's permission. Dressed in a dark suit with short black hair, neatly trimmed beard, and mustache, Alexander quickly realizes this thing was going somewhere when Judge Lewis looks at him over her glasses and says, "I've given you multiple chances." From the judge's point of view, there's a long list of missed opportunities and bad choices. And that's why he should not be representing the Anthony family. Alexander received his first chance when he pled guilty in her courtroom to injuring his ex-girlfriend's 2-year-old child. So he pled guilty to that. Judge Lewis sentenced him in June 2011 to 10 years deferred adjudication. He could have received 5 to 99 years in prison for causing seriously bodily injury to a child. That's what I'm saying. Why would you want somebody that was charged with injuring a child to be the spokesperson and protect your child? All he had to do was stay out of trouble for 10 years and the felony conviction would disappear from his record. Instead, that same year, he was arrested for stealing a car. Oh my God. He claims it was a simple dispute with the car lot over a payment. The next year, he was charged with check forgery. He says he'd written the check long before the injury to the child charge. The year after, he was involved in a domestic disturbance that led to a police chase through the streets of Carrollton. Oh my God. He claims he was under the influence. Why would that make it better? That's crazy. In July 2012, the Dallas County DA's office sought to revoke his probation. This is insane. In July 2012, the Dallas County DA's office sought to revoke his probation. The state claimed that he evaded arrest, gave a false report to a police officer, and failed to report to probation or pay his court costs, fines, and fees. He also didn't complete his community service hours, his anger management courses, his parenting classes, or safe neighborhood training. This is insane. So he can't even say that he made a mistake, served his time, and fixed it. But Judge Lewis gave him another chance. He received credit for his time served in county jail as well as 7 years community supervision in January 2013. You know what's so funny about this is that he makes all those claims about racism, but here we have a black man given chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. And what he did was terrible. He shook and hit a child, hit his pregnant girlfriend. He wasn't railroaded or spent all this time in prison. He got a bunch of slaps on the wrist, but he's up there talking about the oppressor in his speech, the racism, and I know I'm a black man. This is my lived experience. I know what they do to you. What did they do to him? Give him a slap on the wrist? What has all his complaining been about? This is insane. Many people think like I'm a person trying to hide from their past, Alexander says. My past life has me doing the things I'm doing now, because I thought there was actually a justice system. I thought it was actually about justice, but I realized it's not about that. That's funny he says that. I think that's what his victims should be saying, because this guy hurt people and got a slap on the wrist. For nearly 2 years, Alexander kept up with the conditions of his probation. An Oak Cliff native, he grew up living with his grandmother, who was known as Gangsta Granny in the neighborhood. It was the slaying of a childhood friend from the neighborhood that led him to step in front of the news camera as an advocate for a victim's family instead of a criminal fleeing from police. That's odd because he was arrested after fleeing from the police. So says this article. He criticized the way the police handled his childhood friend's murder investigation and later called for the creation of the Kelly Alert and Amber Alert for adults. The legislature ignored him. He later began leading protests against police brutality in downtown Dallas and quickly became a nuisance when he led protests to shut down Interstate 35 East. It's funny he attacks police brutality, but not anything about domestic violence, which is what he was. He pled guilty to hurting his girlfriend's 2-year-old child. This is ridiculous. One of his supporters at the time said it's going to take more people like Dominique who is willing to challenge the injustice and not afraid to speak truth to the power. He has enough faith in God and he has the courage to stand and not sell out. And that's why Beware the Messenger is so important, right? Because why would he be the guy fighting and willing to challenge injustice when he has multiple slaps on the wrist? He didn't do that for his victims. Why would he do that for anybody else? In January 2015, he saw a seat on Dallas City Council, but quickly changed his mind. His wife ran instead. She lost. He then created a nonprofit called the Next Generation Action Network and quickly became the face of the Black Lives Matter movement in Dallas. His relationship with the group is murky. He told local news outlets that he wasn't drawing a salary from the group, but admitted to the Observer that he was receiving a monthly stipend. Alexander also earned money working as an owner of a convenience store and from processing credit cards, but he didn't seem eager to pay to get clear of his legal troubles. Let's see. The Dallas County DA's office filed a motion to revoke his probation on October 27, 2015 for failure to pay his community service and urinalysis fees, as well as his Crime Stoppers payment. He also failed to report twice or complete his community service hours or his anger management or parenting classes. Wow. He got a lot to say about what everybody else is not doing, but he is not holding himself to that same standard. But Lewis gave him another opportunity. That's weird. This racist judicial justice system. You mean to tell me it gave him another opportunity? He continued on probation with modified conditions to his community service to include serving 10 days in jail on December 10th, 2015. 7 months later, the Dallas County DA's office filed another motion to revoke his probation again. This time, the prosecutor claimed Alexander failed to report to his probation officer in May, did not pay his community supervision fees or complete anger management classes. He also traveled outside of Dallas County without his probation officer's permission. Lewis, though, continued his probation again and gave him 30 hours of community service to complete within 30 days. So see, he's just been given chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. Oh my goodness. Shout out Marcus Banks said, wow. He also said, in other words, he's a former pimp turned legal. Yeah. Marcus Banks says he is a regular menace to society. He is, man. He's a little thug, man. Let's see. 2 weeks later, another motion to revoke Alexander's probation was filed. Only this time, the violations listed both in the October 27, 2015 motion to revoke and the August 2nd motion to revoke combined, a warrant was issued for Alexander's arrest. Alexander posted the $50,000 bond shortly after his arrest. He received an ankle monitor and house arrest as his condition of release. It's not about the stipulations, he he says she already disciplined me. She already took care of it. So why did she violate it? This is crazy. Let's see. The next part says, sitting in his small one-bedroom apartment in South Oak Cliff, Alexander reaches over to plug in his electronic monitor. He's visibly agitated about having to stand before Judge Lewis the next day, once again for probation violation. He blames Dallas Police Chief David Brown, whom he's been criticizing. A gunman killed 5 Dallas police officers and injured several others after one of Alexander's protests against police brutality in early July. In the aftermath, Alexander and Brown sparred over how to conduct further protests. The Next Generation Action Network also handled DPD a list of demands, including any police quotas for tickets and arrests, prioritizing enforcement of the consumption of alcohol in public, marijuana possession, disorderly conduct, criminal trespassing, littering, disturbing the peace, and spitting. Brown responded and claimed the Dallas Police Department doesn't require or suggest a quota for officers to follow. He also rejected the idea that police would not enforce all laws. Brown said he would meet with Alexander if he agreed to discontinue protests in the downtown area, given the tragic circumstances of July 7, 2016, and the associated concerns for our officers' safety. You know what? I'm glad I read this article because it explains why he was doing what he was doing in his speech. He brought up DPD multiple times in his speech, and I think that him rushing to the aid of Carmelo Anthony's family, I think he had his own hidden agenda. Shout out to Marcus Banks. He pointed that out earlier in this video in the comments, and I think that's what it's all been about for him. I think it's just always been about him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, that is that. I am Risky Behavior, aka Mr. Diabolical. This is Beware the Messenger. In this video, I pointed out why Dominique Alexander should not be representing not only Carmelo Anthony's family. I don't think he should be representing anybody at all. He should have not been their spokesperson. I feel like the family was most likely taken advantage of by him. He needs the attention. During his speech, he spoke more about his organization and said their name. I think maybe more than he said Carmelo Anthony's name. I'm very sure of it. Actually, yeah. He said his organization's name more than he said Carmelo Anthony's name. I think this has been about him and his own agenda and to push his organization. And I think that's all this was about. I don't think that he should be the messenger for this family. I think he did him a disservice. And what's crazy is because of his allegations, when he went up there to speak, anytime he's spoken on behalf of the family, no one listened to him. As soon as he opened his mouth to speak for the family, it doesn't matter what he said. He could have said the best thing in the world. You know what people did? All they did was go to the internet and say, look up his criminal record. How can you speak for the family and do them any justice when you open your mouth and the only people can think about is your criminal record? You need to get out the way. He said it was the last press conference, so maybe they're not going to be using him anymore, and that's why he said that. But I would hope he stays off the internet and speaking on his family's behalf. We saw something similar to this. I remember when Obama was running for president, and one of his old pastors said something, and it became all about that pastor, right? And so here you have a situation where you have two families, they're hurt. You have this other family, they need help, and this guy stands up to speak for them. And now the only thing that people could think about is his criminal record. And I would just think that he would know better. This case has become a serious one, and the fact that he was willing, knowing his past history, to get up there and speak on behalf of his family is sad. This is a guy that pled guilty to shaking and hitting a 2-year-old child. Like, come on, like who would want him to speak on behalf of their child for them? Like, this is ridiculous. And not only that, got multiple chances and didn't even feel like it was important enough, because in the article it states that he didn't even complete his anger management classes, because he also had domestic violence charges. He didn't even complete his parenting class, his anger management class, didn't pay his fees or anything. So he didn't even take rehabilitation seriously. How can he fight for your child against the justice system? He don't even take it seriously. It's ridiculous. But that's all I have. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Hopefully it comes out fine. My computer was acting funky tonight, but appreciate you all. If you like the video, thumbs it up, put me in an algorithm. Feel free to subscribe, feel free to share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will catch y'all later. I appreciate you all. Shout out to my guy Marcus Banks. Appreciate you coming through. Beware the messenger, y'all. Watch out. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you choose to represent you, who you choose to get your information from. Sometimes people have hidden agendas that you don't know about. Just be careful. Be your own leader. Go out there, get your own information. Even me talking right now, go get your own information. Look up the things I talked about for yourself. It's like one time I was sitting in church and the pastor said, "How many of you brought your Bible with you?" And he looked out in the audience. He said, "What's so crazy?" He said, "Because you didn't bring your Bible with you, I could be reading anything to you right now and you wouldn't know the difference, because you're not even attempting to get the information for yourself." Right? So that's all I have for you. This is Risky Behavior. I am Diabolical. I will catch y'all later. Thank you for coming through. Peace.
Risky behavior.